Hey everybody, welcome back to another review of Married at First Sight. It's your boy James, the Big Eyed himself. This is going to be season 13, episode 5. The title is The Keys to My Heart. Uh, this season's been pretty boring. There's nothing going on. I stopped taking notes because nothing was happening significant. I could just remember all this nothing that's taking place. So let's run through this real quick because there's not a lot going on. But it is, well, some stuff did. Some stuff that was important did actually happen. We're going to start out, I'm going to go couple by couple, not scene by scene. I just find that to be easier. Just talk about couple by couple. We're going to start with Johnny and Bao. I like Johnny and Bao. I really do. I think they're cute. I think they have problems. I think they're not going to work. But they do look good together. I'll give them that much. We find out that it started out with Johnny saying he had a good night's sleep, except he woke up because he heard an animal crawling around, and the animal was Bao because of Bao snoring. And he just teased her about her snoring for a little while, and we find out later that she has insecurity about her snoring because it's just something she's insecure about. When she was younger, she went to like a leadership camp, and she didn't go to sleep the time she did the camp because she was afraid people would hear her snoring. Her snoring is a problem for her. I don't know why it's a problem for her. I don't snore, but I've never given a damn about somebody else snoring. I've recognized that it's something they can't control, just a thing that happens. But I guess, and it seemed like Johnny wasn't too bothered by it. Like he was joking about it, just picking at her. But he said he's a light sleeper, so he kept waking up because of her snoring. They had to figure that out, but I don't think. And the thing is, though, when she was telling Johnny that, she's insecure about it, he didn't really seem like he cared or he understood. I think that's going to be an issue of him playing too much and not respecting her feelings or not taking her seriously. Because he didn't take her serious at all about the snoring, about the bathing suit stuff, about the physical touch. He's not really caring what she says. Like he cared what she said, but he's still trying to loosen her up or get her used to him and stuff like that, which is fine. He can do that, but he should also understand that she goes about stuff differently. We see him with Bao at the pool getting ready to go swim, and Bao says that she has a collection of swimsuits that she doesn't wear in public. She wears them around the house. Like she doesn't wear lingerie, she wears swimsuits. She buys them, she puts them on, and she just wears them around the house. That's cool too. I can't think of anything. I guess it is kind of odd, but it's also like not the worst thing in the world. It's not even the weirdest thing in the world. It's kind of like, all right, whatever. If you want to wear a swimsuit like underwear, go ahead. Shit. All right, that's fine. I think Johnny thought it was fine, but Johnny's just trying to get up on her. He doesn't really care about all that stuff. You see him later when he's with Jose, which this was the stupidest part of the whole show. Johnny and Jose go to a gift shop because Johnny's trying to look for stuff to buy. And he's like, well, Jose, this smooth guy, he can really help me out. I'm like, y'all in a fucking resort gift shop. Y'all ain't in Macy's. Just grab some bullshit that's overpriced and ugly and just get that. You don't need an expert to pick out some polyester fucking shirts. This was a whole waste of a scene. It served no purpose. I don't care about Johnny and Jose's bonding. So he wanted to have a romantic date with Bao, and Bao kind of didn't care about that. She made fun of the shirt he got her because the shirt was big, but it looked like, she said, oh, it's a double XL, but it was like a shirt you wear over your clothes. It was like a cover up. It wasn't like a shirt. It was just made, like, it probably was a small, but it was just big because it's supposed to go over what you're already wearing. So I think she was kind of off on that, but she just fucking with him about that. Oh God, what they do for their date? I don't know. They had a picnic, yeah. And during the picnic, he wanted to tell her how he felt, that he liked her, but he said he never does that. He said that before during the wedding episode that he never tells a girl that he likes them. He waits for them to say it first, so that he could take time and come back the next day and say, "Hey, I like you too." He got time to think about it. He never goes first and confessing his feelings, but he liked Bao enough and he cared about her enough that he wanted to do it first. And it took him a while to get it out. He was just blabbering and stuttering on, but he got it out. But he did something I didn't like. He told her, like, I really like you, and it's okay if you don't like me. Now, when he said he told her it's okay if you don't like me, I didn't like that. That seemed like a setup. Basically, by him saying that, he's saying it's not okay if you don't like me. If he was just confessing his feelings, he should have just said how he felt and let that be it. Don't give her an out. Don't put up you a shield. Don't try to find an excuse. Don't even say it. He said it like twice. If you don't like me, that's fine. It's just I just like you. But if you don't like me, it's fine. He shouldn't have done that. It's a lie, first of all, and it's not genuine. And it's not the truth. It's just really what he should. That messed the whole thing up for me. What else they do? They told the other guests that they knew each other before they got married. Well, everybody was like, "That's bullshit. That's fucked up." But Johnny and Bao was like, "No, not really, because we never dated. We just kind of worked together. We knew each other and stuff like that." But Bao was like, "Oh, he stood me up when I asked him out on a date." And I think she said that when they were talking, like, if you would have just texted me back or gone out to the museum with me, we could have avoided all this and we could have met years ago. We could have figured this out a long time ago if you would have just not ghosted me. And Johnny was just laughing it off. He laughs off a lot of stuff. I think that's because he's uncomfortable or he doesn't know what to do, so he just starts laughing and try to blow it off. But I think Bao is hip to that. Like, yeah, Because even the other guy said, like, you could have just called her back all those years ago and this whole thing wouldn't even be a thing. Who knows? If they would have dated before, they wouldn't have gotten matched now. So even if it didn't work out, they still wouldn't have got matched. So yeah. And I told you about the Bao and Johnny and the snoring thing. I think that's going to be a problem because Johnny's just hard up, man. He's acting like he cares. He's saying that he cares. He respects it. But I get the feeling that he's only saying that because he wants to get closer to her. Like, I think everything he did in this episode, he did for her just to try and get closer to her. He wants to be more intimate. And Bao is not trying to be more intimate. She's trying to get to know him better. But she's the one that likes him. She keeps saying that I do, but she's like, I'm not at that point where I want to be like intimate, like at all with you. Because the whole thing is he wants to get rid of the body pillow, and she's like, in the snoring thing, he shot himself in the foot with that. Because if he'd have been more receptive and not joking about her snoring, he might have got what he wanted. But with him teasing her about snoring, that really made her push him away and put a wall up. Like, she doesn't even want to be in the same room with him when she sleeps. So I think Johnny is hurting his chances. And I don't think they're going to make it. I really don't. I think that because Johnny said he went on 100 first dates. And he was worried about how she would take that. And that's when she was like, well, if you would have just went on that one date with me, it could have went fucking different. And she's right. She can always throw that up. Well, oh yeah, you went on 100 first dates except the one with me. And he said that, he always looked for whatever little thing. It didn't matter. He just, if anything, no matter how minuscule, small, or even not that big a deal, he just was like, well, I'm done. And he would just go ahead and go to a dating app and just get another girl. He was like swiping on people in real life. That was he, like, not on the app. On a date, he would just swipe and go to the next girl. Oh, that's bad. That's terrible. And it was like, he never even had time to build a connection. He was like, if anything happened, I knew I could always. He said, I just knew I could go to an app and get another girl. So I never cared about building anything. At least he recognized that and admits it. But I don't have the best hopes for Johnny and Bao. Next we have Michaela and Zach. Zach got COVID. Zach got a quarantine. Michaela does not have COVID, which was crazy because they were together. It's been 3 days, but like they had sex. They slept together. They've been all on each other, kissing and hugging and everything, but there's no telling when he got it. He could have got it whenever, from anybody. And I understand this whole thing was odd because I understand Michaela's point of view. She was not happy about this at all. But I understand Zach's point of view too. Whereas he was like, it happened. Basically, Michaela, she really did not want him to have COVID on her honeymoon. She was like, no. And she was of the mindset of, no, it's not you got COVID, we got COVID. Because she was like, I'm going to still be here with you, all up on you, all up under you. COVID or not. Because it's my honeymoon, we're married, we're going to do this together. But Zach was like, no, I don't want to risk giving it to you. We don't know what could happen. It's not really hospitalizing me, but who knows what it'll do to you. He's like, no, I'm going to quarantine. We're going to be separated for 2 weeks. And she was like, what the fuck? No. She had every right to be completely upset. And he had every right to be kind of like, we have to quarantine. I have to quarantine. I have to be away from you. She was of the mindset of, we're going to do this together. And he was like, no, I don't want to risk you. They were both right. They were both wrong because he didn't care about her feelings and she didn't care about his. She was acting kind of spoiled, which her parents say, we protect her, we do whatever she wants, take care of her. And she was like, you aren't listening to what I'm saying. Like, she was really upset that he wasn't doing what she wanted him to do, or he wasn't agreeing with her. And he pissed her off because she was getting cranked up and he was getting cranked down. He kept pulling her down when she was trying to get revved up. She was like, I'm angry, you need to be angry too. And he wasn't angry. He was more content, like, it is what it is, which is the truth. And she left. Why the fuck would you leave? I guess, no, because she could have got another room. She could have did any. I don't agree with her leaving. She left and went back to Houston and left him in Florida in Key West. No, I don't think that's a good idea at all. Because he could test negative tomorrow. I don't agree with that. I don't even know why they did that. Why she felt she couldn't be there if she couldn't be with him. I think her leaving was a bad decision. They could have FaceTime. They could have sit outside the door. This was a perfect opportunity for them to just talk to each other. He could be in one room, you in another, and y'all just talk. You could have exchanged ideas, told each other's past, what your expectations are, what you're looking forward to. It's a lot of stuff they could have did. Instead, he went off on this woe is me fucking tangent, and she went off on the I can't get what I want, and she left. He was like, when he would name it, he named every goddamn symptom in the pamphlet. He like, I got them all. Can't smell, can't hear, I'm sore, no taste, I'm dying, I'm achy, headache, fever, every goddamn symptom of COVID, he said, I got them all. He's sitting there looking sad. He woe is me, I'm pissed off, and I was just like, okay. But I don't have any expectation for them to. I think they're going to have a big clash because their personalities are so different. She's so cranked up and he's cranked down. She's eccentric and he's plain. That's just how it looked to me. Moving on to Brett and Ryan. They did fuck all this episode. We find out that, honestly, I don't think Ryan likes Brett at all. He doesn't seem attracted to her or interested in her. And I think Brett doesn't seem interested in him. Like, she's just trying to figure out who is this dude. Because he's so blind. He is so uninterested in her that she is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, she doesn't have a chance to do anything because he is just like, whatever, not interested. He doesn't like her at all. They talk about kids, where she said that she was at an age and a point where she felt like, she's like, I'm not going to have kids. She was kind of resigning herself to that fact, like, I'm not going to have kids. And Brian was like, that's a deal breaker for him. He wants kids. He said 2.75 kids. He wants 2 boys and a girl, which was a joke. It's one of those old jokes about the average household has 2.5 kids. But, and Brett was like, she was happy to hear he wanted kids because she wants kids, but she doesn't want to be a single mother. And she was looking at it that at her age, like at her job and how she lives, it was looking like if she did have kids, she would be a single mother, and that's not what she wanted. So she was like, well, I'm going to freeze my eggs in case I get married later and want to have kids. In case she was looking at all the other stuff to maybe possibly have kids. But she was happy that Ryan was like, I want kids, multiple kids. And she was like, I just don't want to be a single mother. Which I don't think a lot of people say they want to be single mothers. Some women do. They want to be single mothers. They want to have kids, but they don't want to be married. So it is a thing. But she was like, I want to have a family. We find out that Ryan is like, he's physical, he's very intimate. He wants to be all up on her. And they do kiss a lot. But they're not going like to that next level. And that's what Ryan is trying to get to. But Brett is being very she's being very restricted. Like, she's fine up to a point. She's not going beyond that point. And I don't blame her because he doesn't like her. He doesn't like her. He's not interested. I think once he sleeps with her, he's pretty much going to be done with her. That's kind of the attitude. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Is that he just wants to hit before he goes. And because he's said multiple times, like, because of the airplane, he would have been left. And I don't think she's done anything to make up for that. I don't think he was all that into her in the first place. So, and after that, they just pretty much talked about the other couples. Ryan spent all the time talking about just what the other people were doing, because they weren't doing anything. They were barely in the episode. Next, we got Merla and Gil. Whew. Oh, Merla and Gil. I will say this. I think Gil was the best person to put with Merla. Because he's got the patience, the demeanor, and the attitude to deal with her. And I think even the other guests said, like, he's perfect for what she's doing. Because and the thing is, though, I have to admit it, despite the editing, despite how they talk, it looks like they have a lot of fun together. It does. It looks like they have a lot of fun together. But it looks like they are not compatible at all. They go to the pool, and Merla goes to work. She doesn't go down there with everybody else to have to mingle and have fun. She's like, she got work. So Gil is by himself. And Gil asking everybody else their business about who's kissing and who's not, who's sleeping together and who's not. And he tells everybody, well, Merla's not here. She had to work, and we're not doing anything. And the girls tell him, like, oh yeah, she said at the bachelorette party that she wasn't going to kiss you. She was going to kiss on the cheek, and that's it. She's concerned. She doesn't want to do that stuff early. That's not how she rolls. And Gil was like, yeah, I know. Shit. They play volleyball. He dresses the ball up. He puts a face on his head. It's Merla. And, he can do anything he wants to Merla, but this Merla likes him and shit like that. He was just having fun. He has fun with her a lot. And I think she likes that he played with her. Like, because he called her bougie, tell her she high maintenance and all that stuff. But he tells her, like, it's not probably, like, it doesn't bother him. Because he's very content. And I think she said that, He said she's hard to please. And she said, well, you're content with everything. And Gil, yeah. Gil is kind of somebody that he's happy to wake up. Woke up this morning. I'm alive. I got air in my lungs, sun on my face. He's happy. He's good to go. This is the best day ever. Every day is the best day ever. And Merla is like, she wants it better. She's like, oh, I want this. I want that. Gil is happy and content with whatever situation he finds himself in. There's no better way to be. And she sees that about him, and he sees how high maintenance and bougie she is. And they tease each other. They playfully, that's the thing, they playfully tease each other about their ways. Nobody's getting angry. Nobody's cussing each other out. They're not pissed. Gil's not pissed. He thinks it's funny, and he kind of thinks it's kind of cute that she's like that. But it is kind of getting old to him. It's getting old to everybody because she does complain a lot about everything. Gil has a surprise for her. They go on a seaplane. Now she says, I get motion sick and I don't like flying. But, Gil says, well, okay, well, you can stay here and I'll go and I'll just wave to you from the plane. But she's like, no, I want to go because I know it means a lot to you. And I want to go. And she went and she got sick and they landed. But, Gil appreciated that because he knew she didn't want to, but she did it anyway for him. And, he plans a date for her with macaroons and champagne because she said she likes macaroons. And he tells her that macaroons are just bougie cookies. He said he never ate them before. He said they're just bougie cookies. They fit you. And, excuse me. He was eating them and she was like, well, you eating the bougie cookies too? He was like, well, I didn't say they weren't good. He said, I just said that they're just bougie cookies. He said, I like chocolate chip. You like macaroons. He's like, hey, they're not nasty. She's like, oh, you got a little bougie in you too. He was like, so they play with each other a lot. And you can see that even though, you can see how good a person Gil is. Because he could easily get pissed at her. He could easily be upset. And she could be easily upset with him. But it's like they're so self-aware of each other, of themselves, that they can really play off of it. Even later in the hotel room, he's talking about her makeup routine. Like, she has to do all these 80 steps to get ready for bed with all this, her makeup, her face and all that. And he was just like, whatever, she can do that if he wants to. It's fine. I'll just wait on her. And he was like, I'm patient. I can just wait. And he did. He just waits on her. And he gets to the bed, they're talking, and he was just like, girl, get your ass to sleep. She was talking about her eyelashes and how she don't want to look like SpongeBob and all that. He was like, what? She was talking about makeup, and he was like, go to sleep. I might want to hear all that. And she was like, you tell me to go to bed? Like, homie, like, yeah, I'm sick of you. And they're laughing, and they're playing. You can see that despite how it's edited or how it's made to look, they play with each other a lot. They do get along. They get along to a degree, to a big degree. And they have a lot of fun with each other. Nobody's upset or offended or taking stuff too seriously, which is good. There's no way they're going to work at all. They just get along. And it's mostly because of Gil that he has the patience to deal with this. It's like she's waiting for him to explode, but he's not. And she's kind of accepted, like, oh, you just want him to do to just go along with whatever. And now she's kind of like, that's neat. That's cool. But from his point of view, it's not neat and it's not that cool. He's just dealing with something he doesn't want to have to deal with. Next is Jose and Rachel. Jose is weird as hell. He's a creep. And he wants to do stuff that I don't understand why he wants to. He wants to brush her teeth. And I'm with Rachel, like, I'm an adult. He wants to feed her. He was like, no, like, what is this bullshit? I'm grown. I can feed myself. I can brush my own teeth. Like, but he's like, I want to take care of her, and he's like, that's not taking care of her. That's not romantic. Yeah, if we get in the shower together, and that's cool, that's romantic. But brushing each other's teeth, how do you even do that sexy? How do you brush somebody's teeth sexy? How do you do this? Like, he's talking out of his ass, basically, or he's trying too hard. He's doing something wrong. And you see, they go fishing, and Rachel's like, I don't know how to fish. He's like, well, I'll teach you how to fish. And they catch a fish, they have fun. They're always kissing on each other. It's so creepy. And he always chokes her when he kisses her. Do you see that? He grabs her by her neck and kisses her. I'm like, what is that? Who is that cute to? I don't like looking at them. It's like, it creeps me out. They're always kissing on each other. He's always doing too much. He's always just being weird to me. And Rachel is like, she's not that cool with. She doesn't like him wanting to take care of. She's like, I was independent. My dad raised me to be independent, to have my own, because a man can just leave you at any moment and you be stuck with nothing. Which is my same philosophy I teach my daughter. Do for yourself, because a guy can just up and leave whenever he wants, and you're stuck. If you depend on him, you're stuck. If he decides he doesn't need you anymore. I don't believe in that at all. Because men ain't worth a damn. Really. They really are. So she wants to have her own job, her own funding, and the money situation. She acknowledges that she's bad with money, and she tells him that. And she says, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to have like separate accounts and one joint account, and we put money in a joint account? And he said no. He wants to just get all the money, his money and her money, do everything they're going to do with it, and then whatever is left, give it to her. And she was like, that sounds like an allowance. She's like, I'm an adult. I'm grown. I don't need an allowance. He just was also, because he's of the mindset of, I'm the man, I run this, I take care of you, I do everything. And she is of the mindset of, no, that ain't going to work. I'm going to take care of myself. I want to provide for myself and have my own things. Because even with the house, he was like, move into my house. He was like, no, because it's your house. I don't want to move into your house because it's your house. You could tell me to get out at any time, which is true. But they're married, that kind of makes it a different kind of situation because they're married. But yeah, she wants her name on everything. She wants her name on the bills, she wants her name on the mortgage, she wants her name on all this stuff. That way he can't just arbitrarily just get rid of her. So I agree with Rachel. I don't agree with Jose. He's doing a lot. He creeps me. He's weirding me out. He's doing too much. And he said he's traditional, but I don't know what modern woman he thinks wants that. And he goes beyond, like, brushing your teeth and feeding you. That's not even traditional. I don't think Jose and Rachel are going to make it because they have different philosophies on life. She wants to be independent and have her own, be able to provide for herself. And he wants to do everything for her and give her what she wants. And I think that they're both stubborn. I think Jose is going to, once he realizes that she won't do what he wants, he's going to get rid of her. Or he's going to turn on her, or he's going to grow sick of her. Because she's not going to do what he wants. And she's making that abundantly clear. Like, no, I'm not just going to sit here and whatever you say, I do. So I'm still 0 for 5 on this season. I don't think any of these couples are going to make it. Johnny and Bao is my only possible. But I think the worst is yet to come with them. and with Michaela. I think the worst is yet to come with all of these people. Because it's not like they have small problems. It's like they are just completely opposite people. That outside of this show, they probably would have never even been friends. They don't do the same activities. They don't run in the same circles. They don't do anything. Where they could have bumped, except for Johnny and Bao, where they could have bumped into it. But think about Johnny and Bao. That was in college. Since then, in the same city, they don't bump into each other. They run a complete, like, he is in more of a sports stuff and she is in more like science stuff. Like, they are all, from occupation to mindsets to just life, their life goals are all different. It's like they run the opposites attract and they think, oh, it'll balance itself out. It's not. Not at all. But that's what I think. Tell me what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Or if I missed something, make sure you bring it up to me. And I'll catch you on this episode, man. Hey, peace.